Okay, so we have a young lady here. Uh, I believe she's recently. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, recently she was in contact with this guy named King Brujo, and it seems like she had a not so pleasant interaction with him. So I want to know, like how was how did you guys meet or so?
We met just over online. He just DM'd me and, just started asking me questions about like spiritual stuff and whatnot. And that's really how we met online.
Hmm. So okay, you guys met online. What? What is the unpleasant thing that what happened between you and him? Because I know you guys interacted for a while, but what caused this separation between you two?
Um, well, in short, I'll be brief. Well, we can explain, but I'll just say like the meat and potatoes of it was simply he wasn't who I thought he was. And it wasn't just his spiritual practice, even his temperament. And he just appears to be a nice guy, no matter what the instance is. If you're his friend, if you're his partner, whatever, he's not really what he perceives himself to be. And I really think he believes that he is the way, like the story he's telling himself. It's like delusions. And I stopped really talking to him because he sexually assaulted me.
He sexually assaulted?
Yes, he did.
Okay, sexually. So what sexually assaulted you? You're saying okay, all right. Let me take it back a little bit.
Yeah, you need to take it back.
So okay, so you met him.
Mm-hmm.
How did okay? So you met him online, and he presented himself to be something that he wasn't. Now, demeanor wise, okay, how was he? Was his demeanor, let's just say, well, I guess you see him on social media. There's no way to really hide that,
Yeah, right. It's the internet. You really never know anybody truly, like through the internet. Everyone has a gimmick. Everyone has a game. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna be clear. My speaking to him in the beginning wasn't relationship based. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to date this guy. Like, I was more so concerned about connecting with people in the spiritual community and just like, I don't know a lot of men, and I was just like, all right, I'll see what you're on. It was really more on some friendship shit. We went out, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Before we went out on whatever outing a date, whatever you want to call it, my car kept messing up, and I still even got there early, but I got to the wrong place. It was just like a lot of things that were going wrong, and I really didn't even want to go for some. I have no idea why. Intuition, and I show up all fly and me, and he just looks regular, which is cool. Some people are regular, and he just did it. Like, it just seemed weird, but I was like, all right, let me not knock it. Let me give people, a chance. I give people a fair chance. I'm not, like rude or mean or nothing. He was cool. I ended up going to his house at some point to just look at his spiritual stuff. That day I did have my daughter, and he kept asking me to come see his, his stuff, come check him out, see that he, got some shit going on. So from there, the house shit was really even intense. Like, something just wasn't right about that place. Not even gonna lie to you.
Can you please explain? What do you mean something wasn't right about it? How was the inside of the house?
So I was, all right. So when I pulled up, it was the same feeling I had when I first linked with him. Like, I didn't want to go in. I'm on the phone with my friends. Like, I don't know. The house it don't matter. Like, the house was a cute house, but it probably needs pressure washing. And I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to not make it as bad as it seems, but okay, he got his little leg out the front. Boom. Okay, cool. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in. So I go in. And, he has certain lois in his house. He has certain lois. He also has orishas in his house. But the one thing that got me, it wasn't the loa. Like, I don't have a problem with the loa. and I'm not gonna say that it was right or wrong. I'm not even gonna go into that, but I'm gonna tell you this: from what's on the first level of like the Loire, there's something in that man's house. Like it's fucking him up too. And I don't even think it has anything to do with the spiritual stuff he does. I don't know, but upstairs, like there's just like a fuming energy up there. And he told me, when I told him that, he said several people had told him that. So I was just like, But it's just off. Like you could just tell, like from the energy, even if you're not an empath, like when you walk in, when you go to people's house, you could feel like a real good home or a real fucked up home. Like it felt very fucked up. Like stuff. There was no like, like even like a towel rack. There ain't no, there's no like setup. There's no decor. It's like, it's kind of alarming. He didn't just move in. It's just kind of weird. And I know men tend to like not have aesthetics, but it was a lot of issues. Like you see like dirtiness or like holes or like
what wait. You said holes. What do you mean?
Like in the wall, like there was something covering, because he gave me a tour of his house. He told me about the shorties he used to deal with and everything. I was like, okay, whatever. Not really I'm not gonna say not my business, but I don't really care. There was something covering the hole, and I was like, what's behind that? And I was trying to touch it. He was like, oh, it's a hole there. Like he just straight up told me. And he, he was very direct and clear about like all this shit that happened with him on the internet. And this is when I really started like getting worried. This was my first red flag. Well, probably my third. I'm like, okay, he was talking about this internet beef. He's talking about the girls he used to deal with. He's fighting for custody for his kid, which is these are normal things, but shit was not adding up. It was just not adding up. It wasn't adding up. It wasn't adding up. And I just started to get really wary. And I wasn't really upset that he had like a regular job, like he did something on the side. That's normal shit. But he just had this good guy, like essence, like real kind of like chill and kind of like, I won't say flamboyant, but like bubbly. And you just see down the line how he unravels. That's not really correct. It's not really that. Like even my kid, for instance, like I'm not a weirdo. I'm not bringing no one around my kid. You know what I'm saying? And he was pressed about seeing my daughter, so I was like, fuck, all right, like. And it just even how he's like, oh, she's so beautiful, whatever. But certain moments, I didn't even want him. He was not really around my kid. It was like probably twice, and every time I could see how he was trying to bite his tongue, like when my daughter would yell, she's a kid, or something, like he would get upset. Like you could see it, like, but I would look at him like he's crazy and he would dial back immediately. So it's like he really got some hidden shit in him. Like I don't know what the fuck it is, but some ain't right. Some is just not right over there.
Now let me say something. There's a previous interview I did with a young lady, and this young lady said he punched her 1-year-old child in the mouth, and the child was profusing a lot of blood on the sheets or the bed, whatever. Now you can go and check that interview out and get to the point where she talks about that, because you mentioned holes in the wall. This is what another female said, and you're saying the exact thing, and you haven't even seen the interview. You didn't even know nothing about this.
Nah, I didn't.
So now I want to know something about his temperament. You said temperament, and also I think his temperament and his demeanor. I think we spoke a little bit prior to his interview, and you said something about him looking sickly. I wanted you to explain that, his temperament, him looking sickly. What do you mean about that? And what do you mean by something's fucking him up in the house?
So, like, I ain't really saying too much about myself, so I'm not going to really try to say, I'm going to say without saying why I know and how I know. But I'm going to say this, like, no matter if I'm your friend, if I'm your partner, whatever, I'm always going to want you to be your best, even if we just met. So the way he looked, even if you're humble, like, even if you're E5, you're like a minimalist, like, that's fine. You don't have to be flashy, but he didn't want to comb his hair. I'm like, let's get a haircut. Let's make you look sexy. Like, if you see all these pops, like, why don't you look good? Like, He would not cut his hair. I mean, it just was like a mess. His skin, like his face, like he definitely needed some vitamin C under them eyes. Like he just looked like he needed a full makeover. He needed like
face. Repeat the eye. Okay, the eyes thing. What do you mean by the eyes? Explain it. Under his eyes.
They're like really. I mean, some people got real dark circles under their eyes because they work a lot or whatever. Or it's hereditary, but his shit was like so bad, and he just even the quality of his skin, it just looked like he smoked cigarettes or something. He don't even smoke, so it's just like, or drink. He just looks like he parties every night. That's how his skin looks. That's how his face looks. He looks like he parties and he doesn't do drugs, but that's what his skin looks like. You know what I mean? Like that's what it looks like.
So now, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like he looks older than what he is. You know what I mean?
He looks older than he is. So now let's move to the part. Well, let's move forward. Well, let's just say this. There was a female that did the interview with me previously, and she said that the stuff that he was promoting, talking about taking care of a female and stuff like that, he providing for a female. Do you think, from what you've seen economically, that he can afford to have a woman or multiple women whatsoever? Do you think that he's...
Okay, I'm not fucking poly, just right out the gate. I don't care what somebody else does. That's just not my thing. He is poly. That's what he does. He feels like he deserves, and I'm not gonna knock you for wanting that. And I was never with that. You know what I'm saying? I told him that from the jump. Like, I wasn't even really trying to date him, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yeah, he would ask me, like, how do I feel about that? I mean, he asked me at the first 2 days I knew him. And it was just so jarring because it was like, when I would resist it, he'd be like, I'm trying to block my blessings because he got a reading on me and I would be good for him and vice versa. Like, I should, do this. It's in my destiny because I have this degree in this house or whatever the fuck. And even so, I'm not gonna come to no shit and it's not my decision. Nobody's gonna make me do something I absolutely don't want to do, right? So he would try to send me stuff about learning what it is, and I'm like, yo, I've already watched this, but it does not making me gonna be poly for nobody. And to be honest, I'm gonna be real, handling one person, one girl, somebody like me, I'm high maintenance as fuck. Like, how do you do 2? How you gonna do 3? Like, how the fuck? He's definitely not economically able to afford that. No. And I'm not saying maybe down the line he could be. I don't fucking know. Like, he definitely not right now. He battling custody. He got too much shit up the wazoo he gotta deal with. I don't know why he focuses on being poly. Like, it's gonna change or fix his life. Okay. But he definitely felt resistance anytime, he'd be like, well, we can't talk to each other if you, I don't want to have friends. Like, he would press me for a relationship. And I'm like, yo, I just want to be friends right now. It takes me a while to warm up to people. And he's like, well, if we can't date, if I can't marry you right now, the next 2 months, then I'm wasting my time. And I'm like, okay. And then he'll come back.